Seriously though, why do people hate this figure? I see a lot of people hate this figure because this guy is based on the concept art and not accurate to the movie. But then I see the same people praising the new Scourge figure when it has the same flaws as this figure. If you're Indonesian like me, you'd know that this figure was never imported here for some weird reason. If you really wanted this figure, you'd have to spend a ton of money. But fortunately for me, unfortunately for you, I managed to get this figure when I visited Japan and spotted him at some local toy store. Before we get into the figure, let's take a look at the box. I want to take a look at the box because there are some differences from the normal boxes and this one. If you look at the box, you could see that some of the layout here are a bit different. Like the placement of the Takara Tomy logo is different. There's also this thing when on the original there isn't. There's no generation stamp. There's no number next to the CGI art. Instead, the number is moved here. Which, by the way, the numbers are actually different from the normal release because the order of the figures being released are different in Japan. Looking at this side, there's no stamp of authenticity and no Autobot logo above the CGI art. On this side, again, there's no number and instead it's replaced with this Autobot logo and the text here is different. And on the back and the bottom, they just changed the language into Japanese and also showcase a cool image of the figures that have been released at time. Why can't Hasbro do the same thing as Takara? Like, this is boring. The Japanese boxes are a lot cooler. Okay, enough of the box. Let's take a look at the figure. Something you'd notice is that this is actually this is actually not the SS-18 Bumblebee, but instead the SS-34 Bumblebee. I think this was a packaging error. I remember that it was sealed and I've only noticed that this wasn't actually SS-18 a few months ago. Let me know in the comments if this is a packaging error or is this actually the deco they used for the Japan release and it's somehow similar to SS-34. I don't know, just comment down below. Okay, back to the figure. This figure's painting and sculpting is really good. Again, this is based on the concept art, so it's not accurate to the movie. I really like the rusting detail on the door and chest. I know it isn't accurate, but I wish it was more spread out around the figure. I also like the Autobot logo on his head. I kinda wish they printed it on the mask also, which I will get into later. I really like the blue eyes and the sculpting on his head is really good also. It's basically the only thing that's accurate to the movie. The only nitpick I have with this figure is that I wish they used a more darker gray plastic like the ones they used for Clunker Bumblebee and add more paint on the legs. The backpack is shit though. Like, I get it. I get it. How are you supposed to make this round car into this sleek robot mode? But Lucky Cat actually managed to make an accurate Bumblebee with no backpack. I really hope Hasbro revisits this design and make it turn into a more accurate robot mode like that off-road one. This figure also comes with a lot of accessories. It comes with his gun. You basically rip his hands off and replace it with the gun. It also comes with the sword, which you can plug into either arms, and a battle mask. Oh my god, this is actually really cool. Why can't the other Bumblebee figures include this many accessories? Like the new Rise of the Beast Bumblebee only included the gun and the sword, which are unpainted. And why did they stop doing the mask with the new figures? I think it's a lot better and cooler that you rip his face off and replace it with the mask instead of just buying another Bumblebee figure to get the mask. God, please save my bank account. There are also a few QC issues with this figure, unfortunately. The doors and the knees are loose, but the rest of the figure is nice and tight, which brings me to the articulation. Heads on a ball joint, the arms on a ball joint, 90-degree elbows, this movement, waist swivel, ball jointed legs, previously mentioned loose knee joint, toes can move up and down, leg pivot.
I forgot to mention and record that he has the elbow swivel and a thigh swivel.
And that's pretty much it. Before we get into the transformation, size comparisons. Stinger, Bumblebee, Yellow Park Optimus, Nemesis Prime. Now, for the transformation. transformation. Transformation is really fun. It's the standard transformation that every movie Bumblebee have, but I think it's pretty fun. The only problem I have with the transformation is that most of the figure is made out of clear plastic, so you kinda have to be careful with the figure. And also the transformation is a bit finicky. And here is the car mode. The car mode is really good. I really like goofy looking cars, which the VW Beetle is. I kinda wish Hasbro and Takara do more goofy looking cars instead of the normal looking cars. Again, I really like the rust detailing around the car. Why did they make the robot mode also rusty? God damn it! The car rolls pretty well. You can also store all the accessories under the car, which is cool. Though it won't roll well because the accessories are clogging the bottom of the car. Size comparison. Stinger, Bumblebee. Overall, this figure is really good. I love the Bumblebee movie despite all of its flaws. And this figure, while not accurate, is a pretty good depiction of the Bumblebee design. If you ignore the inaccuracies, this is a really good Bumblebee figure. If Hasbro or Takara revisits this design, or some other company upscaled that Lucky Cat Bumblebee into a deluxe scale, I would definitely buy it. This figure is a 3.141592653 out of 4. Join my Discord so you get updates on my poor uploading schedule.